Hi guys, my name is Dr. Arohi Manyar and today we are going to discuss about the second part from our public health dentistry from the topic of epidemiology. So in our previous video we studied about our descriptive study in our epidemiology. Today we are going to see about our analytical study. The third one is still left, we will see in the later videos, which is our experimental study. So the analytical study, it is divided into two studies, that is one is case control and the other is cohort. So what is the difference between the two? Case control study is a retrospective study. We have to go into the future to have the whole study, and the cohort study is a prospective study. We have to look into the future. This is of the past and this is of the future. So in this study we have to go in the past and look forward, trace all our steps, and here we have to imagine our future and the things that are going to happen in the future. So in case control study we have 4 points that we have to remember. The first one is selection of cases and controls. So how would we select our cases? So we can select it on the basis of our diagnostic criteria or on the basis of our eligibility criteria, and what will be our control group, what will be our group of experimentation. So it will be our hospitals or it can be our general population. Going on to the next factor, which is matching. In matching, it is a very complex thing to understand, but I will make it very simple for you guys. The only thing that you have to learn in matching is our confounding factor. So what does that mean? So here I have an example. Our activity is our independent variable and our weight gain is a dependent variable. So when the activity increases, the weight gain decreases. So a person who is very active, the weight of that person would be very low. So this is like a simple straight formula that we can see. But what is a confounding factor? What is another factor which can add, which can affect our dependent variable? So the other comes is age. So I will explain this to you in the basis of an example. So if it is a group of 200 people, a population of 200 people, 100 are men and 100 are females. Okay, so this is male and this is female. So now the activity of these two groups will be directly dependent on the weight gain. But if I say if all the females are 15 years of age and all the males are of 30 years of age. So age is a very confounding factor. It is a very variable thing. So I cannot compare two different genders of two different ages with a single dependent variable. If the age will differ, the weight gain will differ. So we have to nullify this factor. So when we have to study, we have to nullify the age factor. We have to take all the population in the same age, and then we can look forward to their activity and go for our conclusion of weight gain. So our confounding factor has to be nullified or neutralized, and then it has to be matched to get our proper result. Moving on to the last two, that is measurement of exposure. So we can know about this with our basic interviews or questionnaires. We can ask questions to the people regarding what are the diseases or what are they feeling or what are the symptoms, and then we can have our case control study. And with all these factors, with all this data in our hand, we can do our analysis and interpretation. And we do this analysis and interpretation to know two things. First is the exposure rate, the exposure of the disease, and the second is the estimation of the disease risk. So what is the risk that occurs in the disease? So what is the estimation? Is the disease going to be severe or is the disease going to be mild? So that is all about our case control study, which we have to trace back our steps, which we have to go in the past. Looking on to the next one, which is our cohort study. So in cohort study is a prospective study. We have to look into the future, and here we have to obtain additional evidence. We have to gain additional evidence to support or reject our existence of suspected. This is all happening in the future. So this is all suspected cases or suspected disease. We have to support that with additional evidence. So here there are basic 5 steps that we have to remember. First is the selection of study subjects, similarly that we studied about here from our general population or hospitals. Second is the obtaining data on exposure. So what is the data of exposure? Third is the selection of the comparison groups. So how are we comparing all those people from the general population or from the hospitals? So how are we comparing people having the symptoms and people having its effects? And the last is, after gaining data on all these three, we have to follow up on these cases, because these cases are going to happen in future. These cases are going to occur in further in life. So after the follow up, then we can analyze our data and then we can come to a conclusion. So this is all about our analytical study. Thanks for watching. Guys, I hope you like this video. Please hit the bell icon and subscribe to my channel for the upcoming notifications. Also, don't forget to comment in the comment section below about the topics that you want me to discuss later on. And to get in direct touch with me, you can also DM me on my Instagram ID, which I will be putting in the description box below. Thanks for watching.